Hi everyone, I am live with a very unplanned video, but if you've been watching the news these last couple of days, well, really months, years, we've been hearing about disclosure, about government cover-ups, about all kinds of stuff, about secret technology, that the government is not sharing with the public. The thing is, I have been hearing these stories for about 20 years now because I've been into this disclosure stuff since I was like 16 years old or something. And like yesterday apparently is the first time that the White House made an official statement about UFOs or UAPs, I guess is what they call them now. But of course their narrative is they are Chinese, blah blah blah. We don't know what they are. We think they're Chinese. And it's not a coincidence that these stories are now all of a sudden popping up, that the government is now talking about this when normal people, all of us, have been talking about this for decades. We've never been taken seriously. There's a bunch of contactees that have had information, that have the video material, that have the that have everything, and they don't get the media coverage, they don't get the acknowledgement. But when the government has their material, then all of a sudden it's the White House is giving a statement. Because of course, then they get to control the whole story, they get to control what comes out to the public. So yeah, I'm just kind of recording this spontaneous live because I know that all of this stuff is now coming out when myself and a few other psychics that I know, channelers that I know, have been receiving messages for months now about a big energetic shift that is coming up. A friend of mine that also channels the Dragon Collective. I also channel the same Dragon Collective. We work together. Often we receive the same messages at the same time. And we've both been receiving that we have to prepare for something. But like the way I feel it, it's not preparing for something that you should be scared of. It's preparing for what you came here for, that we're really being asked to activate our soul memories, our mission, remember why we are actually here in the first place. And where was I going with this? And of course, yes, so they are gonna now try to confuse people and send a bunch of disinformation and real information into the ethers, so that it becomes very difficult, very confusing for people who are now newly awakening, and there are so many of them right now. So it's no coincidence that these stories are starting to come out of the woodwork. Because what better, like, go back to when you first started awakening to the multidimensional nature of the world that we are living in, or if you are one of these people that is now all of a sudden opening up to all of this stuff, it is very difficult to discern who is right and who is wrong. When you're newly awakened, then basically what happens is your gifts come online, you are open, you are like a sponge, and that is also what they are counting on to slow down this process of these people awakening, of these people remembering, of these people being able to discern what is right and what is wrong, what is of an aligned energy, what is of a misaligned energy. And this is the stuff that I work on with people, that I try. That is basically, if like I were to summarize what I do with people in one sentence, it would be so that you can listen to the voice of your higher self and always know the truth. Always know what is right, what is the next step for you. And that is the real disclosure. The real disclosure is that you know the answers, and they are coming from within the people, and they are all sensing, being in alignment with the same truth and feeling it from within. And that is going to be the real way out of the chaos that may unfold in the couple of months or years. So that is really the only message that I have for anybody watching this. If you're watching this, then this is just a little reminder that when you hear these stories, when you see these news reports, when you see people that seem very authentic, that seem in alignment, always double check with yourself. And if you feel that somebody feels off, that a certain message, certain news report feels out of alignment, you feel that in your body, but you feel like, who am I to not trust what they are telling me because this person knows what they're talking about. That is not you tuning into your truth. That is you looking at these people outside of yourself and their perceived wisdom and success, but you have the ability to tune in and find out this truth for yourself. So that is the big lesson I feel for 2023, to really step more into who you really are. And also community. That is what has been coming up, community. Like I said, this is a spontaneous life. I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm just talking because I feel like a lot of people have questions and have this stuff on their mind now. More and more stuff is gonna start to come out, and it's just this thing. It's like a Pandora's box that you cannot close anymore. I made some notes. So the thing is, now they are saying that US fighter jets are attacking these things in the sky. Apparently, they're saying that it's Chinese. If people don't buy that, then they may eventually say that there are aliens and it's alien crafts and all this stuff. The thing is that is their narrative that they are pushing. Of course, the invasion, the alien invasion, they have been programming the mainstream population for decades now with the story that if there is a reason that alien life would ever come to Earth, it is to overpower us. That is the story that they have been pushing, because they're saying if there is alien life, we would have already discovered it. But the thing is, they are looking in the third dimension, and reality, the multidimensional nature of reality, it's not like this. It's not all on the same level. There are different layers. And if you go to these other star systems, planets, and you're looking on one layer of the whole complex reality, that is that star system or planet, then you are not going to find what you're looking for. And also because these beings automatically, when they are vibrating in a higher frequency, on a higher frequency, then spiritually they will be of the same level. Like that frequency level goes up with spiritual consciousness, so with consciousness awareness. So these beings, they are no longer in this fear state of being that they would feel the need to overpower another human being, because they are living in higher frequency. They are living in a unity consciousness state of being. They have no interest in doing any of those things. But of course, the beings that are in power now and have been since Atlantean times want you to believe that that is what's happening, because the thing is, these beings do not have the ability as easily as we do to ascend, to let go of these lower energies, of these lower frequencies. So they basically need us to stay in a low frequency with them. But the thing is, there is a collective awakening happening. This cannot be stopped. That is the simple truth of it. Where was I going with this? So yeah, what they have to do is they try to now slow things down with their false flag things, or just like giving you breadcrumbs of information, and then which just leave you more confused than anything else, such as, oh, there's stuff in the sky, US fighter jets are shooting at it. We don't know what they are. We think they're Chinese. That is not giving you any answers to your questions. And if anything, it's just distraction. It is distraction. And if you have been awakening, if you have been in contact with your star family, then, and you are hearing these stories, then now it is up to you to go even more within. Go within and feel the feeling of what this connection feels like. And then take that feeling and feel the feeling of what it feels like to watch these news reports, listen to some of these YouTubers like that are talking about disclosure, and feel if that feeling that you get in your body, if that is the same feeling that you have that when you are communicating with your galactic guides. And if you know and you trust your connection with your guides, and you are not getting that same open, safe feeling, high frequency feeling of being protected, of being in alignment, then just don't listen to it. Because it's all about what you choose to align with for this planetary ascension. And the planet is going to do it anyway. So you can make things hard on yourself, or you can make things easy on yourself and try to go within a line with your own truth. What else was in my notes? Yeah, that you're basically your own source for disclosure. So it is good to build a community and connect with others that you trust, that you know are in alignment with their soul mission, with their heart. And in small circles, you can talk to people, tell them about your feelings, insights, spiritual downloads, communications with your spirit guides that you trust and know. And then you can really kind of reflect back and forth and build a community that is heart-based, and that's going to be the beginning of actual disclosure. And that's way better than trying to absorb as much external information as possible from so many different sources that it gets to be just chaos and confusing. So that's what we're being asked to do. And the same thing goes, like now this disclosure thing, it's not just about, okay, aliens are gonna land. It's also about the true construct of planet Earth, and the fact that the inner Earth contains a whole wide variety of civilizations, of beings that have been there for centuries and centuries and centuries, that have the technology that we do not have access to yet, also because their consciousness is higher. And the thing is simply, if you start messing around with technology that is very advanced and spiritually you are not leveling up with this technology, then you create a disharmony, and then you cannot really use these technological devices in a way that is in alignment, and then what you get is Atlantean end times. The thing is, we are supposed to turn this around right now in this lifetime. We are now meant to turn this around, because the thing is, when Atlantis fell, we went through a descension cycle. So the energy, the frequency was dropping, and the Earth was simply responding to a galactic event. So this was all meant to happen. But the thing is, we are now moving through the cosmos still, but we are entering an ascension cycle. So the frequency is picking up. This is just our path in the galaxy. This is the trajectory of the planet, and this is just something that cannot be stopped. The thing is that these beings in charge, that have been in charge since Atlantis, they know that this really cannot be stopped. This is a galactic event that is simply taking place. There is no stopping this. And because we are a part of the planet, and the planet is ascending, those that are in tune with their body, that are in tune with the planet, they are automatically going to activate their ascension process together with Gaia. So that's what's happening. and also the beings in the planet, and they are now ready. The beings from Telos, for instance, beneath Mount Shasta, are ready to come to the surface. They are reaching out telepathically to beings that have connections with them, old souls that are here, that are channeling their guides from the inner earth, that are ready to prepare these beings to come to the surface. I know that this sounds very sci-fi, but the thing is, more and more people are having the memories, more and more people are having dreams, they are having contact experiences with beings from the stars, with beings from the inner earth. Normal everyday people, it's not just people like me that have been channeling for 20 years, it's people that worked in the banking industry, it's people that worked in retail, it is teachers, it is people with college degrees. I also have a college degree, but I'm just saying it's just everybody in all walks of life. Randomly everywhere, they are awakening, they are remembering, because the energy that is collectively surrounding us is increasing and increasing, because we are in this ascension cycle. So the thing is that Atlantis is also coming up for a lot of people, because we are seeing this big contrast right now that is taking place, this big contrast that is becoming more apparent even for the mainstream public. And this is also what happened in the end times of Atlantis. Also natural disasters, which were just Gaia's response to the descension of the frequency. So she was responding and cleansing. And because of all kinds of stuff that was going on, corruption, just scientific, really creepy stuff going on in the end times of Atlantis, civil wars in Atlantis. I've seen this myself in the Akashic records, all kinds of stuff, just mass killings, persecutions, just stuff, all kinds of stuff. And the thing is, this triggers a lot of memories in people right now, Atlantean memories, all kinds of stuff is being woken up. And we are being triggered. So star seeds, old souls, people that are tuning in, they can get very triggered when they see these disclosure things, these news reports, chaos. And the thing is, you have to remember, keep in mind, you are supported by the universe. You are now going through your own personal ascension process, but also you are supported by the planet, planetary ascension. You are here because you've been requested by Gaia. You've been requested basically to help. And if you do what you feel is in alignment, that is the real disclosure, because you are supported on your mission here, you've been requested. So anything else, and that is going to trigger people, because if you watched my story yesterday, I usually never ever, I don't comment on posts that I disagree with, because I respect everybody's process, their own individual point of awareness in their journey, and they are exactly where they need to be. However, yesterday I commented on somebody, because I was scrolling the New Age like hashtag, and there was this post in there from somebody that is a Bible study person. And she talked about the languaging of the Bible, and I very politely commented and asked her, how does your study take into consideration the blatant mistranslation of the Bible from Aramaic to English? This is something, like, I've studied it. I did not very extensively, but after I did an 8-week introduction to the Aramaic language course. And after that, I went and studied on my own. And basically, it is a completely different book. The words don't even mean the same thing. And so she got a little bit triggered, and she had no idea, was very confused about what mistranslation I am talking about. But the thing is, if we go look at, I know I'm like getting sidetracked. I'll get back to like aliens in a little bit. But this is important, all this stuff, because we have people that are very hung up on religious constructs, And these are the people that when this stuff goes down, like if it really happens and aliens land one day, like for real, physically they're here, a lot of people are literally not going to be able to deal with this energy because they will be coming in with such a high frequency that it is up to you. You are responsible right now for making sure that you can meet them halfway. If we are going to be pulling away this veil of 3D, this illusion veil, we will have to take responsibility into our own hands to become the best aligned version of ourselves. As Bashar once said, Daryl Anka, who channels Bashar, who is an Essassani being. Basically, they are a hybrid version between Earth humans and Greys, and they are here to also assist us in making the right choices, being in alignment. And he said literally, like, if disclosure were to take place, if aliens landed on like the surface of the Earth, it would not be possible for most people to like walk up to an alien and be like, hi, how are you doing? Because the frequency that they would come in with would be so high that it would be like if they took a flashlight and they start shining it on you in the dark, you would be able to see all your shadows, all the stains on your clothes or whatever, like stuff that you normally don't see. But because their light is so bright, you're going to see these things, and it is going to really bring out your shadows. That is why a lot of people are really being pushed to work on themselves, to get to know their higher self, to work with their trauma, including past life trauma, which is also trauma that can resurface in this incarnation that you're in right now. And that is why you may have seen it in some of my posts, in my newsletter. If you want to stay up to date on everything, then sign up for my newsletter in my link tree. I will be doing a free webinar where that is basically going to be a group coaching session, a mentorship session, just like I do with my one-on-one mentorship clients, where I'm going to go look at some things like how do you access your own Akashic records? What does it feel like to be in alignment with your higher self? What does intuition feel like? How can you recognize the energy of your spirit guides? And what is a good way for you to channel your guidance? Some people need to write, some people need to use their voice, some people need to be creative. Everybody has a different way of connecting, and that's what we're going to be looking at. And my husband Nick will also join us, and he has a lot of ways, a lot of smart ways to support the body in this ascension process. A lot of knowledge about plants, superfoods, stuff like that. So that's what we're going to be doing. If you want more information on this free webinar, then just send me a message, or yeah, just DM me, message me. So yeah, back to the disclosure stuff. Congratulations on your newsletter. Yeah, I didn't, like, for a long time, I didn't really want to do the effort of like sending a newsletter, but I have noticed that there are a lot of people that you just don't reach on Facebook or Instagram because the algorithm doesn't show you as often, and then they kind of wonder where you went. But that way, with the newsletter, then they still see the most important stuff that you really want to share. So that's why I really like it. And again, Instagram is the main source for my like interactions, where I meet most people, where most people find me, where I can work with most people, build connections. But the thing is, you never know. One day, like, Instagram and Facebook may not be accessible anymore, and that is why I also enjoy Steve Nobel's platform, which is an alternative for Facebook. It's called the Soul Matrix. I have my laptop open. Let me just look at it. Oursocialmatrix.com. Oursocialmatrix.com. And that is basically like a Facebook type of platform. And so yeah, if you want to stay in touch with me in other ways besides Facebook or Instagram, then sign up on YouTube, I would say, for my newsletter, and also find me on Steve Nobel's platform. Because I do feel like the powers that are at play right now, they know, because they know about all this esoteric stuff. They know about all these things that the main public doesn't know about, the conspiracy stuff that's so like we're all conspiracy theorists and whatever. But they know that their antics, that they're basically a kid throwing a tantrum, and that they know that this cannot be stopped. So whenever you see these stories, so they will like throw a tantrum, send a bunch of disinformation mixed in with real information into the ethers to just confuse you even more. So with any piece of information that you see, always go within, double check with yourself. Please sign up for my webinar if you want to find out more about how can you really feel what is right, what is the truth, how do you feel that in your body, what does intuition feel like. I encourage you, send me a message, and that's the stuff that we're going to get into in this webinar. Also, how can you like meditate and look at your own past lives, look at your own Akashic records. The one thing that I always say that mentorship clients ask me is also like, oh, can anybody do it? Is this a special gift? Do you have to do some kind of special protocol to connect to the Akashic records? And there used to be a time where that mattered way more, but I'm noticing even in my own personal experience over the years of developing this gift that it takes way less effort. The veil is way thinner. It takes way less effort to connect, especially when you have already established that foundation of feeling alignment, knowing what alignment feels like, recognizing that feeling. Then it can be very easy, and there is no reason why I am more special than you are. So I am 100% convinced that you can do it too, that we are all supposed to, that this is our natural state of being able to connect to all parts of your soul. That is what I do. I just really want people to be able to use all parts of themselves to become the best version of themselves. Because if all of us do that, that is the real disclosure. You begin with you, then you reach out to your friends, family, you build a community, and then these communities connect, and that is how it really will shift, how we will really shift. Let me see what else. That is kind of it. That's kind of it. I don't know, went on a little disclosure rant. I have some cards. These cards are called the Lemurian Star Child deck. I'm just gonna pull some cards just for some extra information today. If anybody has any questions, and you are watching this, you can always ask me a question. If you're live, if you're on replay, then unfortunately, I may in the future do like a little thing where I'm gonna ask people to send me questions and then I'll pull a card or something. I may do that. Okay. I actually pulled this card for myself this morning when I was pulling cards. This is Family of Light, Signs, Guidance, Innate and Ancient Wisdom. So exactly what I just said, go within, go to your own connections to your galactic family. Don't listen to just everything that is floating out there. Like the moment there's something about UFOs, aliens, and especially if it's coming from CNN or White House official stuff, Go within. Okay, let's see. Dormant pause. Is anything Spirit wants to tell me? Okay, let's see. What is important for you right now? Opening the heart. Right to love and be loved. Heart healing. This is what this card looks like. What I'm feeling is that you're being asked to now really look at the bigger picture of a certain situation with somebody in your environment, either a family member or a friend, and that it is time to let go of something that has been weighing you down, like kind of like a backpack that is getting just too heavy. You don't need it anymore. Because the next step, if you want to accelerate, then it's time to let go of some of this dead weight. And the time is there. You are strong enough. That is the stuff that came through for you with this card. I hope that that is helpful to you and that that makes sense. Well, I am going to kind of wrap it up over here, have my tea over here, and I'm going to work on a Lemurian painting that I'm going to be posting later. I hope that I get to finish it today, but I probably won't be able to do that, but stay tuned. And I'm going to be working on the magazine, and we will also be talking about some star family stuff in the magazine. Not sure yet what that is going to look like, but it's going to be interesting. We want to include some past life stories, cosmic stories. So if you have memories, if you have stories, if you've ever had a past life hypnosis and you would like to share the story, or and I may also start contacting some people that I know whose Akashic records I've read, and I may ask them to share some stuff because there is some really valuable stuff in there that would just be very interesting to know for people in general about what it was like living in Atlantis, what it was like living in Egypt, what did people do, like day-to-day activities, stuff like that. So if you're interested in that, let me know, or if you have stories like that, let me know. Okay, I'm glad, dormant pause, glad that that was helpful for you. Okay, you guys, so let me know what your thoughts are if you've watched this live. If you've been watching these stories in the media, let me know. And remember to just keep going within. I know you hear this all over the place. Everybody's saying it. But that's really the only thing that will keep you. It's like a storm, and you're on this ship and you have to navigate the storm. And the only way to do that is to really stay in alignment. So yeah, I will see you guys next time. Bye.